Welcome back to Steve Robb Reviews. Today's review is going to be all about this camera. And how many of you have thought about getting a new camera to make your videos better? And I'm talking about a camera that can actually produce maybe even 4K or 8K. So let's go over to the bench, let's take a look, and let's talk about cameras, filming speed, which format you should use, and does it make a difference when you're filming on YouTube? Well, here we go right here. This is my new camera that I picked up, the Panasonic HC V180. And why did I pick this one up? Well, we have to go back to just over 8 years ago when I first started uploading to YouTube. And this is what I used. And it's been a great camera. Now, this camera lasted me about 6.5 years. Now, the camera still works awesome. I was using it as a backup camera, but there's a problem with it. Like many cameras, well, the screen just won't work in that position. See, when you go like this, it shuts off. So about a year after I started uploading to YouTube, I bought a second camera. And I've been using this one ever since, and it is a great camera. Now, these are the only two cameras that I have, and this one here is still working. So I decided to get a new one because this one here is just, well, I don't need it no more. I'm not going to bother fixing the screen. And this is the camera right here. So these are the only two cameras I have, and the only other one that I've ever filmed with, well, I'm going to show you right now. So here we go right here. This is my Samsung cell phone. And if you take a look here, and we're going to go to the different filming formats. And this camera will film not just 4K, it'll film 8K. So what I did in the past, which a lot of people didn't even notice, was I actually filmed 3 videos in 4K and nobody noticed a difference. I couldn't really tell much of a difference. So this particular camera here, the Panasonic, is the exact same as the Canon. This is the Vixia HF R600. They don't build it no more, I don't believe. But I only film in 1920 by 1080. Now, this particular camera will film in 30 feet per second. But this one here, it only goes down to 60. So when I render it up to YouTube, I pick 30. So I don't need to film in 60p, just 30 is fine. I'm not doing anything fancy. When you're on YouTube and you're doing videos like I do, like do-it-yourself for projects or just basic stuff, 1080 is all you really need. Because on your cell phone, you're not watching nothing in 4K. Very few people are watching anything in 4K on their cell phone. And if you take a look at your analytics, well, about 75% of the people that watch my videos watch them on their cell phone. It's split 50-50 between the last 25% on people that watch on their computer or their TV. And have you ever tried to watch 4K on your TV? Well, some people do have it, but 1080, man, it's hard to tell the difference between it. So take, for instance, this particular unit right here. Well, it's using, I would say, what a lot of people would call outdated technology. It's not a 4K camera. There's nothing fancy about this camera. It's plain Jane, just like this. I mean, you open it up and all you have to do is just press record and away you go, and it's that simple. I mean, they don't make them any simpler than the basic cameras, and that's exactly what I wanted, because there's a couple of things about people that want to go to the 4K, well, I just want to show you something here first. This is the SD card. And this card was $9. So when you're looking at getting a 4K camera, and whether it's a camcorder or a DSLR, you can't get a $9 memory card to work in a 4K camera setup. You're going to have to spend big money on a memory card. And can you tell the difference between 1080 and 4K? Well, if you upload videos to YouTube, you can really tell that the file size is huge. So, I mean, if I was filming at the time, the 3 videos in 4K I uploaded to YouTube were about maybe 10-minute long videos. And it took me over an hour to render and about an hour and a half to upload to YouTube. And I couldn't really tell the difference. So, I mean, I'm going to show you some videos here of when I first started on YouTube and some of my friends. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to tell you what these people use for filming, because none of them were using 4K. And it's an interesting thing to find out, because when it comes to YouTube and you just want to have some fun on YouTube, these are great cameras. There's nothing wrong with these. They're just great. Now, does this make a difference if you want to be, say, successful on YouTube and have hundreds of thousands of subscribers and millions and millions and millions of views? Can you use this type of camera? Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to show you some video here. You're going to get a little bit of a chuckle out of it. But we'll come back and then we'll discuss how successful can you be with a camera like this, or the one that I'm actually filming with. This box is empty. I'm using the Panasonic right now to film with. But when I come back, we'll discuss the camera a little bit. I'll switch over to this one here, and I'll tell you what the most successful person that you're going to see here and what they actually use to film with, because you're going to be shocked.
It's Rob from the Grease Monkey Garage. I was just sitting in the garage trying to get some inspiration for the project back there, and it's getting cold here in Winnipeg, so garage is getting cold, so I'm going to need some inspiration. I've always wondered where Steve Robb gets all his inspiration from, so I've been doing some research. So at first I thought it would be the beer, because he drinks a lot of beer on the videos, so I drank this beer here and that didn't really help much.
What is up, my friends? I just want to let you know that if you are looking for a great YouTube channel, all you got to do is go check out Steve Robb.
I'm Darren.
And I'm Megan.
And you're watching
The Steve Robb Show.
The Steve Robb Show.
I got it right this time, right?
You got it right.
High five.
Hey, come on now. Come on
Another
now.
Honda. There we go.
The oil change is off. Just oil change.
Yeah, so we're going to tear this engine right apart and see why this one blew up too. Okay, so there we are, guys. We got Mike in the background there. We got Eric. Okay, so I switched over the cameras, and this is the Panasonic right here. Very similar to the Canon. The only thing that I don't like is when you're recording, when you press record, you have to actually press this again to turn it off, or the camera actually keeps on filming. But yeah, that's the only thing I don't like about the camera. Besides that, it's a good camera. I have no faults with it. It's a very basic camera, and most times you're going to get people go over these and show you all the specs and everything else, and you know how to operate it. I mean, this one here, you just press the button here to take a picture, and it's got the zoom in and out, and it's for playback. This is your volume, but it's very simple and it's very plain, right? Now, did you notice when I started filming and I had everything out of frame? I was all up here. There was nothing that was in frame. I'm talking while I'm trying to show something over here. Well, that's one of the main things about filming on YouTube is you have to actually get everything in the shot. You just can't be all over the map, right? So that's just a little bit of a tip there, and it's easy just to be out of frame, and you don't notice it. And well, you're back in frame now. But you can use your cell phone, you know, to film with, no problem. You know, you don't have to buy an expensive camera as far as I'm concerned. But if you want to, just go right ahead, right? But when it comes down to it, well, what do everybody else use? Now, you've seen all them clips, and you've seen all them people. So I'm just going to pick one person out because I have lots of clips of all different YouTube channels. And I will tell you something. Let's start off with Eric O from South Main Auto, and what did he use when he was filming all these years, and you're going to be surprised. So way back when, I think that was like 2018 when I met Mike the disgruntled mechanic and Eric O at his place down in upstate New York, and well, none of the people that I shown in them little video clips were ever filming in 4K. When Eric first started filming, I went down there and I took a look at his camera, and it was a Sony Handycam, a $200 camera. You could film in 1080, and you know, there's only a couple of things on YouTube that you have to do to be somewhat successful. You have to have half decent lighting. You have to keep everything in the shot. You know, you can't try and show stuff that's out of focus or out of film, or, you know, like, you can't show stuff that's, you know, out of the shot. And when it comes down to it, it's all about content. You have to be good at what you're doing, right? So, I mean, I don't know, I haven't looked at Eric's channel in a long time for his specs and everything, but he's approaching like 1 million subscribers and maybe 300 million views. I'm not too sure. Maybe 200 million. I'm not too sure. But he's got like hundreds of millions of views. And that's with a Sony Handycam. And you don't have to film in 4K and have all the fancy gear and everything else, because that's not going to make your videos any better. And if the people like what you're doing, well, you're going to see a lot more people watching your videos. So it all comes down to the content that you're providing. And there's got to be some talent in there somewhere, right? I mean, nobody gets to get, you know, a couple of 100 million views and 1 million subscribers with having no talent, right? So, I mean, there's logic and reasoning behind everything. So when you're thinking about buying a camera for your YouTube channel, well, you're not going to make your YouTube channel any better by getting a better camera. It comes down to better content, and everybody that's a YouTube creator knows you look at your analytics and you know what kind of content gets better views than other content. And if you just want to have fun on YouTube and just, you know, upload anything, you know, that makes you happy, well, that's great too. But there's far too many people on YouTube, you know, presenting videos to people and telling them you can upgrade your YouTube channel by getting a better camera. And I'm thinking, I don't think so. It doesn't quite work like that. Maybe better content. I mean, I would say you have to keep up with the trends. You have to change your content from, you know, from when you first started, because I guarantee you, if you take a look at my videos when I first started, like they sucked big time. So, I mean, if you're not going to improve and you don't want to do anything to improve your channel, well, you can expect to have the same results. And you just can't go and buy a $5,000 4K camera and expect to get a lot more views. So thanks for joining me here today. I hope you enjoyed a little bit of a presentation on my new camera. I didn't show all kinds of elaborate settings and everything else, because you know what? I open up the screen door, I press film, and that's it. It's not that hard to figure out. Just provide better content. If you want to have, well, a YouTube channel that doesn't get the same views every week. Thanks for joining me here, and come back again and see some more interesting things in the future that just might not see somewhere else. Cheers.